And what's so twisted about this is I love this. Like, I love this, but I also hate this and hate how painful this is. I'm so excited, but I'm also so terrified about this reading vlog. Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel, and I am going to be reading Alchemised. When this showed up on my doorstep today, first of all, wasn't prepared for how thick it is. Like, it is 4 fingers worth of thickness. I don't know. This is so thick, and I've heard like people saying like, you know, be aware this isn't like a romantasy, this is a dark fantasy book with some romance elements, but it's first and foremost a dark fantasy, which I kind of knew before going into this and, you know, ordering this. I have not read Manacled. I don't think I'll be able to read Manacled because it doesn't exist anymore. I have seen that you don't need to read Manacled to pick up Alchemised, and that's fine. I don't think it would affect the reading too much to read Manacled before Alchemised, or to not read Manacled at all, because this is a completely new book. It is still parts of Manacled, I understand, but it's been completely rewritten. It's in her own world, it's her own characters, and I'm really excited about this. And this book is just so stunning. There's something so dark and gritty about this cover that I'm just really excited for, but I also know that it's gonna be messy, it's gonna be an emotional roller coaster, and I may potentially earn some trauma from reading this, but I'm still going into it. I'm still gonna read it. I do need to take this sticker off. But yeah, I am equal parts excited and terrified and intimidated and all those emotions. So you're coming along with me while I read this book, because I'm not doing it alone, and I don't know what I'm in for. I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know how it's gonna be reading this, and if I'm gonna enjoy it, if I'm gonna love it, if I'm gonna hate it. I don't know. So we're going into this completely blind. I know nothing about this. All I know is that this used to be Manacled, and Manacled was a Draco and Hermione fan fiction. Last time I picked up a Hermione and Draco fan fiction that was rewritten, it was Rose in Chains, and that did not go well. I did not enjoy that book at all. I had some pretty big problems with it, and to be honest, ever since I finished it, haven't really thought about it since until today. I am hoping that this is going to go so much better. I think it is going to go so much better, because this doesn't hide what it is. From what I understand, it is a dark fantasy, and I've seen people cry and sob and feel all the emotions going through this. So I have no expectations, and yeah, this is going to be a very interesting ride, very interesting reading vlog. Clearly I'm putting this off so much, but yeah, okay. I'm diving into this straight away. It's been a while since I picked up a release as soon as it came in the mail, but I just want to avoid spoilers for this, and I want to make up my own mind reading this. So I want to read this while everyone's still reading their copy. That way I keep my own thoughts while I'm reading this, and I'm not influenced by anyone else's reviews or ratings of this. So let's see how this goes.
find the kiss of dust, keep watching the world as I am filming this right now. So I don't know, but either way, I'm going to spread them this way so that you guys can see. I'll show you some actual demonstrations where
So I I don't even know how to talk about this, but I am 200 pages into Alchemised, and yes, I've been reading this for like 3 days now. I'm going incredibly slowly. It's taking me, I read 100 pages yesterday, and that took me 2 hours, which is the longest it's taken me to read 100 pages. But I am just taking it so incredibly slowly. I'm annotating, I'm highlighting, I'm trying to understand everything that's happening. This is very, very heavy on the information you're being told. The first 100 pages alone, I was just like, huh? I had to keep going back to refresh myself on certain things. And there are definitely words in here that isn't explained. Like, we're told something about this magic system, and then instead of explaining what that word means or why that word's being used in that context in fuller detail, we're not. And that, it doesn't really bug me. I really thought that I would have issues with that, because I like to be fed information, all of the information, and I tend not to really like books where world building is done incrementally, but sometimes it does work for me. Sometimes I do like it, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the way it's written. This is very world heavy. A lot of information within the first 200 pages. And it's funny because I'm buddy reading this with my sister, and even she was asking me questions. She was like, what does this word mean? I was like, honestly, I don't know. But the more you read it, the more you kind of comprehend the words that are being used and why, like, what that means. And I think it's just a bit like, okay, you don't know what that word is, but it's fine. You can keep reading, and then you'll start to understand what it means, and you'll start to become really familiar with the magic system and the hierarchy of everything. So 200 pages in, I could solidly say that I understand the magic system pretty well. I'm sure there are still bits that we are missing and that we're not being told yet, but I feel like I am comfortable enough with the world that if, when we're fed more information, I feel like I would be able to slot it in where it's meant to be and what that means, and help build up the word in more clarity. But oh my god, we are only 200 pages in, and this is heavy. Like, there is so much happening, and there were warnings. By the way, if you're reading at least the UK version of Alchemised in hardback, the content warnings, the trigger warnings, is right at the back, which is a little bit annoying because I don't want to go to the back of the book because I don't want to be spoiled. But alas, it is there. I just have to avoid this page. I did end up looking at the picture. So, it is what it is. But content warnings right at the back of the page. Literally just take it really slow. If you start to see the picture, don't look at that page. Look at the next page, and the content warnings are there. But this is so good. This is so good. I mean, the way Sinlin Yu writes is just so complex, so detailed, so gut-wrenching and emotional and traumatic, and I'm only 200 pages in. I am only 200 pages in, and already I feel like my heart is in my stomach. Like, I keep waiting for the next pitfall, for the next thing to happen, and I know it's going to be worse. But me and my sister are really enjoying it. We are really, really sucked in, and it's really hard to pull myself away, but I was starting to get a really bad headache, so I had to pull myself away. I think I'm getting sick. I'm really praying I'm not getting sick, but I think I am. I think I just need to accept that. But yeah, I mean, people weren't joking when they say this is a dark, dark fantasy. This is a dark, dark fantasy. It's not a dark fantasy romance. At least 200 pages in, like, you're kind of aware of this other character and their interactions, and you're trying to find hidden meaning. And I feel like there may be a little bit of hidden meaning, but it's not a dark fantasy romance, dark romantasy. I think it's a dark, dark fantasy romance as the subplot, while the fourth center is all the emotional trauma and heartbreak after a war. I think you should really read trigger warnings. But yeah, wow, this is a lot. This is nuts. This is so good. Yeah, this is nuts, and I'm so excited to dive back in. But I'm taking it slow. This is going to take me a while to finish. I am just completely and utterly floored by this book. If you could see the amount of annotations, I'll put a close-up photo here, but if you could literally see just the amount of annotating I am doing while reading this, it's just so much. First of all, you really have to concentrate while reading this. Like, this isn't a romantasy at all. First of all, I just want to specify by saying that, even though I'm pretty sure I've said that before. But this isn't a fantasy that you can kind of ignore certain bits. You have to pay attention to every single bit of information that is being fed to you, because it comes back around and it brings so much clarity. More questions, but a lot more clarity. And I am just in awe with the way Sin Lin Yu writes. It is phenomenal. I just don't think that there is many fantasies that write in this way. The themes that are explored, the emotions that are invoked, I am just... It's like... It's insane. It really... There were so many times while reading this where I really felt like I was on the edge of tears, because I was just like, there is so much happening and there is so many emotions that are being evoked while this story is being told, and it's so vivid that you feel what the character is feeling, because you're so in depth with this story and you're paying so much attention because you don't want to miss a single moment, that you become the story, if that makes sense at all. Like, I feel like I am inside when I'm reading this, like completely and utterly floored by this book. I am 420 pages in, and I wanted to give a update a little while ago, but honestly, tearing myself away is single-handedly the hardest thing ever. But me and my sister are buddy reading this, so we're trying to read this at the same time, because there are a lot of things that we were talking and running by each other, because I have so many theories while reading this, and I'm stuck with whether I want to make this a spoiler free or spoiler filled reading vlog. I don't know, because I just feel like there is so much I want to say, and there's so much that I have written while reading this, like underlining with pen, highlighting with pen, highlighter, obviously, writing in the corners. Like, it got to a point where I was like, I need to write this down. Like, I want this to be in forever memorialized within the pages of this book, because I want to reread this and be like, first of all, I want to see if I was correct. Second of all, I want to see what I was feeling at the time of reading this for the very first time, see if I feel the same way. And then also just like the imagery and the foreshadowing and the clues that are put within this book. I'm like, me and my sister, like, don't get me wrong, there are definitely parts of this that I did not like, but it wasn't to do with the writing. It was just, personally, that's not my thing. It's not something I like to read about. But I just didn't want to give up. Like, it wasn't going to be a reason I DNF this book, because oh my god, my hair, because I am just so invested in this story and these characters that I just have to see it all the way through. Even if it's not a happily ever ending, I have to see it through. I have to know everything, because I can't DNF it so way through and always have in the back of my mind what's happening, how did that lay out, how did that come back, and you know, what are the clues that she fed us in the beginning that are now coming out and we missed. It's just insane. I did see that you're supposed to read part 1, part 2, finish part 2, then go back to read part 1 to see what you missed, and then continue with the rest of the book. Am I going to do it that way? I don't know. It's taking me already so long to read this book, because I just want to dedicate the maximum of time of this book and read it so utterly slowly. This is the slowest I've ever read a book in my life. But I have to make sure that I'm not missing any nuggets of information. I don't want to miss any foreshadowing. I want to make sure that I'm giving it the attention it deserves, because this deserves my complete and utter devotion, because it's written in a way that it just deserves that from me. But yeah, I'm on chapter 34. Part 2 is flashbacks. I'm gonna put this like a minor spoiler vlog, just so that no one, if anyone wants to read this knowing the bare minimum, won't watch this. But yeah, I'm in the flashback bits, and oh my god, the way things from part 1 comes back around in part 2 and it's just so illuminating. It makes me so happy. It's really sad and it's really gut-wrenching, but it makes me so happy. And I have a lot of queries, but I don't think I'm going to get any answers to my queries until the end of the book. But I can only imagine the sheer amount of tabs I'm going through. Like, I had to buy a whole new pack, and I'm already going through that pack so quick. I think I need to buy another pack, to be quite honest. I think I might order that now so that it can come tomorrow. But yeah, I'm flying through. I'm tabbing like literally every single page. That's how my Alchemised reading is going. I'm... yeah, very heavy, very heavy. Just please read trigger warnings before you read this, because the themes that are explored in this are very heavy, and the way they're explored is even heavier. So yeah, I'm gonna go stare at the wall for a little while. Yeah. It's been 3 days since I last picked up Alchemised. I'm like 520 pages through this book, and I'm struggling to pick this back up, because I know it gets worse from here. I know it gets worse from here. It's gonna get worse from here. I've heard it gets worse from here. And I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how to put myself through that. I'm willingly going to be putting myself through even more pain than I've already been feeling. And I feel like I'm on the brink of a breakdown. Like, ugly sobbing, into my pillow, needing a day to recover. I really just need to kick myself in the arse and pick this up. I really want to finish this in the next 2 days, so today and tomorrow, which means I have 535 pages to read. 545 pages to read in the next 2 days. I can do that easily, usually, but this book is taking me so incredibly slowly. I'm reading it so incredibly slowly because I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Will I be rereading this? Of course, but I just feel like I don't want to miss everything. If you could see the sheer amount of annotations and just writing and highlighting and in this book, it's taking me so long. I don't even know how long it's been now since I picked this up. 2 weeks? 2 weeks maybe? And I'm only 500 pages in. Mind you, I've not read for the last 3 days because I couldn't. And I am reading 2 books at the same time. This is the most heart-wrenching, emotional devastation book I have ever read. And I willingly picked this up. I willingly have decided to do this to myself. I genuinely... wish me luck, even though you're going to be seeing this after I finish this. I don't even know who I was before reading this book. And what's so twisted about this is I love this. Like, I love this, but I also hate this and hate how painful this is. But will I pick up more books from Sin Lin Yu? Yes, I will. Sen Lin Yu? I really hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. But she knows how to write a book. She knows how to write a book. She knows how to build a world. She knows how to rip your heart out and stomp on it. Praying that this does not put me in a reading slump, because I have so many books to read. Yeah, praying it doesn't put me into a reading slump, so we'll see how this goes. I fucking knew it. I had such strong suspicions. I mean, how my I'm genuinely in shock. I fucking know it. I have 260 pages left. I don't know how this is going to resolve itself in 265 pages. But I fucking knew it. Flawed. Absolutely flawed. I genuinely don't know what to do with myself. Revelation after revelation after revelation, and I don't think my brain can take much more. But I just wanted to say that I fucking knew it. I'm so proud of myself. So do you want to know how I'm doing? I'm not doing good at all. I honestly don't think a book has caused me so much emotional devastation as this one. This is the most heartbreaking. Oh God. Why as readers do we do this to ourselves? Like, why do I want to read something that's going to emotionally absolutely eviscerate me? I don't cry in books like this. Like, I genuinely... I don't cry during books like this. I'm 878 pages in. Well, that is it. The journey is over. It took 2 weeks to get here, but I have officially finished Alchemised by Sin Lin Yu, and I will forever be changed, because I don't think you could read this book and not have it ingrained and change your brain chemistry, because the way this just opened my eyes and just kind of gave me a perspective I never got to see before. Yeah, Sin Lin Yu knew what she was doing. She knows how to write a book. She knows how to properly give elements the time they're due, and to really make the reader think, to really connect to the story and what she's trying to show us. And I am so excited to see what else she comes up with. I'm really, really hoping she will write more books, because I love the way she writes. I love the time she takes. I love how things aren't skipped over or rushed. They're really given the time they are due, and yeah, this may be a standalone, but she punched so much into it, and I have never been so emotional while reading a book. The amount of times I've cried while reading this, I've never sobbed this much during a book. Never. I very rarely actually cry while reading, and yeah, it's impossible not to, because you're just so viscerally connected to the story and the characters and what she's showing you, and the emotion she packs into this. It's so intense. I regularly needed breaks. That's why it took me 2 weeks. I really wasn't going to skip over parts. I was gonna make sure that I was consuming the information, and I really had a good comprehension of the story and the world and all the elements and themes that were being shown and were being told. And I loved every minute of it. I may have been gut punched several times, but I freaking love this. This is a resounding 5-star book. I can't speak enough good things. I just genuinely don't think I could do this book justice, but I am obsessed. I can't believe it's over. I'm also very happy it's over, because I need a break from dark fantasy, to be quite honest. I need to yeah. Can I just say that ending was not what I was expecting at all. Like, at all. And that's all I'm gonna say. I genuinely was so shocked. That's all I'm gonna say. There's other stuff that I really want to say, but I'm not gonna say it, because I really think that everyone needs to go into this book and be completely surprised by everything in this, so that you're really getting the full journey, and you're really connected and you're really locked in, because I was. But yeah, 5-star. I can't believe this is over. I can't believe it took so long, but I'm also happy that I did take so long. But yeah, it's done, it's over. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I finished this last night and I'm still starstruck and speechless by this book. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for coming along with me, and thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if you would like to, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.